guys, what's up? It's Stricken06 of Stricken06.com, and today's video is going to be about how to replace your sway bar links on your Nissan. Specifically, I'll be working on a 2008 Nissan Rogue, but this applies to pretty much all cars and sedans and trucks. Just, you know, the sway bar link will look a little bit differently, but generally it's going to be the same process. So let's open the box and see what we get inside. I chose the Mevotech sway bar link. I've heard some good reviews about them. They're pretty decently priced, about around 20-something bucks a piece. Pretty cheap. They come with a new bolt already attached for you. It looks like it is a lock style bolt. Let's see. It's got some lock. It's not lock thread. It's like a lock mechanism at the end of the bolt. See that little lip right there? That's designed to help stop the bolt from coming back off. These are pretty stiff from the factory. Man, I can't even move this one. It's really, really stiff. Let's see what the other one's like. Also very, very stiff. So we'll work around that. They come with some pretty blue boots on it to let you know it's a Mevotech. It's kind of like their little signature thing. There is no Zerk fitting on the back. These are sealed pretty much from the factory. They have a decent ring that goes around the base of it. So let's go remove our front tire and pop these on. Alright, now that we jacked up the car safely, we've got it on jack stands. We remove the wheel. We have this area right here. So what we're going to need to concentrate on is this sway bar link right here. It's stamped RH for right hand side. There will be a plastic cap here. You just pop that off. It's just a little plastic cap. Set that aside. And the way to remove that is you're going to need a 18mm socket, preferably a long socket so it can fit over that bolt, and a 19mm open-ended wrench in the back to hold the ball joint from spinning. So this holds it from spinning, and this will remove the nut. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to position our wrench back there, take our impact, or a ratchet if you have one, and go ahead and apply some torque. Just like that. If we didn't have this wrench back here, we would just be spinning the ball joint with this nut. We'll set that aside, pop that off. Now let's work on the one on the bottom. The bottom is going to work on the same principle as the top. We're going to need our 19mm wrench and an 18 socket on the nut. There we go. And we've removed our sway bar. So what we have to do from here is we have to line up the new one with the old one because they're angled a little differently on either side. The new ones are not stamped with the right or left side, so we're just going to have to line it up the best we can. That's not it. You really want to concentrate on where the socket will sit because these do move. See how it's different than that? They will move. That looks about right to me. Just want to double check. Actually, that's better. Okay. So to double check our work, we have right hand here written RH. The shaft is going in the same direction. And these caps all match. So if we remember, RH was facing us, so this will be towards the top. Back in our workspace, we're going to obviously take that nut off. Put it in the hole that is giving you the most problems, which is that one. And then use the sway bar link itself to work. See how I just used its own shaft basically against itself? And that worked for me. And I'm going to go up top and do the same thing. So basically I'm just sticking it in the hole and moving the shaft. to the exact angles I need to get it into the holes so I can put the nuts back on. And that worked out nicely. And again, hand thread every single thing you ever work on, so this way you know you're not cross-threading anything. So it looks good to me. So we're going to take the nuts off and apply a little blue thread lock. This will prevent any nuts from coming loose on us while we're driving down the road 30,000-40,000 miles later. Just a nice bead across the threads. The nut will spread it around evenly. Now if you're looking in my workspace here, you're probably noticing a lot of yellow dots and lines. I do that for myself because I'll always retorque nuts. Even if I don't work on the component, I still will do, like once a year, once every 2 years, a torque check. I'll just look in the field service manual what the torques are for certain nuts, and I'll just check the torque to make sure nothing has ever come loose. What I do then is I mark it with a line, all right, like that, like the old nut had lines on it, how it would match up. And if I ever hear a rattle or a tapping noise or something that sounds loose, all I got to do is just park the car, turn the wheels to one side, stick my head in here, and I'll know every single nut is still tight from where it needs to be torque-wise. So I know I'm basically just alleviating problems for myself and knowing that nothing critical is coming loose while I'm driving down the road. Plus, it's nice when you check your oil, just check the dots really quickly, and you don't have to break out a single wrench, and you know every single nut is as tight as it needs to be. Just a good safety precaution that I do for myself. And you also should be doing that when you tighten a bolt that you have removed. This will let you know that you've torqued it down. Just mark it after you torque it. Alright, so these are hand threaded on. What we're going to do is we're going to start these and then finish them off with a torque wrench at 62 foot-pounds of torque. Check your field service manual on your particular vehicle to make sure you know what your torque setting is. So in my particular condition with this new rod, this rear wrench is going to change to a 17 and the nut's going to remain the same at 18. So I grabbed a 17 wrench in exchange for the original 19, and we're going to snug these down. Now I know my right angle impact does 60 foot-pounds of torque on the second setting, and I only need 62 for the torque, so I'm going to run it down and then add the torque wrench for a few pounds later. We'll do the same thing on the bottom. Double check the top. And double check the bottom. There we go. And here's my Craftsman trusty torque wrench. I'm just dialing in 65 foot-pounds of torque. And we're going to snug this nut down. Boom, 65. Look at that. Now let's go work on the bottom one. They don't really give you a lot of room here, so the bottom one can be a little bit tricky to get to. So we're going to do our best. If not, we just have to trust that. There we go. That clicked. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you install your sway bar links. You don't need a lot of tools. You don't need to be super mechanically inclined, but you can install them yourself and save hundreds from the dealership. Check out how the old one clicks. That small of a click is enough to reverberate with all the weight of the vehicle into the cabin of the car.